That's pretty new, I think, in the market.
It's tricky to make that work.
Nobody does it.
I know, because it saves them like a half a cent.
This is kind of like what I wish we could have put in all of our trailers from day one, right?
Yeah,
Every trailer we've ever worked with.
You got to be careful what you say around here.
I know, right? I'm Shane Stoffer, and I have been in the RV business going on nearly 2 decades, and I'm here to dig deep into what it takes to build something better than anything else out on the market. This is Behind the Build. Today, we're at the Pause factory in Lagunier, Indiana, to explore what goes into building the ultimate off-road trailer made right here in America. We're also joined by a very special guest, John Roemer. John is one of our original roamers or customers. He's truly an authority when it comes to off-road trailers. With an engineering background and a true enthusiast for off-road, he gets it. He's also a seasoned RV owner. He's owned everything from a Thor to the all fiberglass Oliver trailers to a Black Series and even an Imperial Outdoors. He's been personally modding and changing his trailers for years, so much so that the manufacturers now seek his expertise. He's truly a wealth of knowledge when it comes to trailers, and he's here today to pick up his brand new Pause Reboot and tour the factory with us. Let's kick off by taking a look at something every adventure trailer needs: tanks. You need those water tanks, and these aren't just standard tanks. There's some special details I want to go over.
Oh, hey, look at this.
This is yours.
This one's yours. By the end of today, it will be done.
Right, we'll roll that out about 10:30 this afternoon. In the morning.
Roll it out at 10:30 a.m.
I want to get a couple of measurements on some things.
But look, this is fun for you to be able to see the
this
inside,
is
the guts,
exactly
right?
What I wanted to do. Yeah. I want to see how the tanks are laid out in the back. And
Oh, the tanks are going to be over there.
yeah. So you got the aluminum sheet on the bottom, and then you got this.
Yeah, you have a whole, it's almost more than a half inch.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like at least.
And
Okay.
then there's a heating pad or something in there too, right?
Oh, you can see, you
John.
can see it better right there, yeah.
Here you can see.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's what goes on
Oh,
the
yeah,
bottom.
let me get a pic.
What is that? 3/4 girl? Half?
1 inch.
That's
1
1
inch.
inch.
1
Yeah,
inch.
that's 1 inch for sure.
So you have insulation down here,
Has a heater pad.
and then this is the tank, so it's above.
Let's see Shane Durst's heating pads on the gate valves.
Isn't that interesting?
Those are 12-volt heating pads.
You know, so this is usually done with just like a worm screw clamp, you know, instead of a cinch ring. That's a really good way to do that with a cinch ring. It can't loosen up over time. The cinch rings are normally used with PEX. This must be the same, more or less the same diameter, or what is it? It's half inch.
Yeah, that's half inch.
It's half inch. That's what they call it, but it's really 5/8 OD, isn't it? 5/8 OD, half inch ID. Same dimensions as PEX, but it's not
it's
PEX.
correct. Right.
Yeah, so that means it's a standard cinch ring for PEX.
Yep.
Yeah.
And tell them about the valves back there on the air tank too, Gerald. The overflow.
Oh, this here?
Yeah.
The overflow?
Watch out, watch out.
So we did 2 of them so it can breathe, right?
Yeah. This here, oh yeah, right.
But that way you get full capacity of your tank
Uh-huh.
by coming up like this.
Down here.
Yeah, I see, and it's sloped all the way out. That's nice.
Because a lot of people have their valves on the side, then you can never get full capacity of your tank. This lets you get your full capacity.
Yeah.
So then we did 2 of them so it has enough air to breathe when you're
Oh,
filling it.
so those are both the same. They're
They're
both
just
vents.
vents, yeah.
I
Both are
see.
vents.
You just double it up so it breathes better.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you don't, it would suck the tank. It wouldn't breathe fast enough when you're filling the tank.
So then these come out just right here, do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you still might get a little burp out of there once in a while on a hard left or something,
Yeah.
but not like the other ones where it just gushes out of there.
Yeah, but it has to come all the way up here before.
All the way up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you're doing the brass too on everything.
Yeah, that's really the right way to do it.
Adds a little weight, but
It's way better.
longevity. Right?
That's the only thing I would use. I did a lot of
But
PEX
nobody
work.
does. Nobody does it.
I know, because it saves them like a half a cent per unit or something. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. It's. I think it's the money more than anything
I do
else.
too, and it's crazy.
The
Well,
new-
back in the 70s, there was a huge problem with polybutylene tubing. Before it was replaced with PEX tubing,
Yeah.
it was polybutylene tubing, and it failed all over the place. But it turned out it was the acetal fittings that were failing as much as the tube.
I feel like I've just seen cracks on those
Yeah.
plastic ones all the time, right
That's
there.
right.
They're always
Yeah.
cracking and
Yeah, this
leaking
is
over time.
much better.
So what makes the tanks on the Pause Reboot so special is not necessarily the tanks, but it's how they're built into this trailer. First off, they don't sit exposed. They're actually elevated up, and there's a 1-inch foam of insulation underneath the tank to protect it from the exterior cold weather. They've also got 12-volt heating pads, so if you get into an extreme cold climate, you'll be able to turn those on and they will give a radiant heat to the tanks and prevent them from freezing. Besides the heated pads and the insulation, if you opt for the upgraded winter package, you'll also get ducted heating down into this area, and that forced air will prevent anything from freezing in the underbelly to make this truly capable of going to cold climates and not having your water lines or your tanks freeze on you. Now let's move on to some other key features that makes the Pause stand out. The Nautilus system. This is your one-stop shop for controlling everything related to water or even some maintenance and winterizing. Let's check it out.
On the Roemer 1, it's got a Nautilus panel too.
Because you can actually take a bucket of water and suck it out of a bucket of water to fill your tank if you want.
I really like that.
You do have a filter too on this
Oh yeah, so that filter is what, after the tank, before the sinks, or where does that plumb in at?
It's gonna be set in.
Yeah, I saw that in mine up there.
For the fresh tank.
Yes.
After the pump, before the sink, is that what you mean?
All the water goes through there, right?
Yeah,
All your fresh water, whether you pump from the tank or
right.
you have a city fill,
Yes.
everything.
What did you say?
All the fresh water goes through there.
All the fresh water goes through there. So when it's all done, if you need to work on something down here, then I guess you have those lift-off panels right there, right? And that gives you access to all this?
Yes.
And this here is if you're ever at a campsite, if you want to run your hoses up from the bottom,
I love that.
so you don't have to keep your door open.
I love that. 'Cause I
Maybe
fought
you're-
that with the Roemer 1. The door's always flapping around.
Yeah.
And this is just an entry point for the power wire.
Yeah, but we're using it for the water lines and stuff.
It's perfect.
And then we include 90-degree elbow, brass elbow, and also pressure regulator.
Oh, that's right.
That's part of it.
Coming off the.
Yeah,
that comes off of that.
I
Yeah,
saw that too. There's 2 lines coming through the bottom of the
yeah,
trailer.
that's your overflow.
Those are the.
That's
no,
your
they got
overflow for
valves,
the
They have valves on them. So
for your tanks. Or these are low point.
These are your
the low point
Low
drains.
points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Low point.
These
drains.
here are your overflows right here.
Oh yeah. Okay. The ones that are just open are the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then your fresh water has a shield in front of it to drain your fresh water.
So I see how this is plumbed up. So these 2 lines here will go down to valves. Yeah, I got it. You know, it's these little things like that that I really appreciate.
This is also removable. If you ever need access to.
How would you get that out of there?
Well, you have to find a way to lift it out.
Oh, okay.
So
But you could get it out, and then you could get to this if you had
need
to.
to get underneath here.
Yeah, need to bad enough, you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you know, this is really sweet here.
Just to protect the lines when they're going through the cabins
Yeah.
and stuff.
And it'll also keep them from vibrating, and you know, it's just great.
And that has a HEPA valve instead of a P-trap. I don't know if you ever seen that.
Yeah, I have.
So there's a
yeah,
little.
that HEPA valve is pretty common,
Yeah.
I think. And yeah. You
It's
ever
just
notice
something
you
we
can't-
started using in the RV industry lately.
When? What is-
Just lately, we've started
lately.
using. Yeah. But they're a little bit more money than what a P-trap is, but it's a better application
but it
for what
is
we're
better,
doing.
yeah.
For what we're doing.
You know, you can't use a plunger with them. With the P-trap, you can use a plunger, but with these you can't because it's a one-way check too.
Yeah.
You know? So here's the solid surface
Yeah.
deal.
Is that a? Yeah. Yeah, that's a solid surface.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Funny that lift-up plug thing that we were looking at a minute ago. You know, I was really curious about that. About what keeps that from fatiguing, and what's that spare wire doing down there? Why doesn't it crack? You know, but it's a cord. It could flex and flex
Well,
forever.
yeah.
You never heard it. It's really good.
The Nautilus system is a real game changer for managing your water and also just maintaining your trailer easier. I come from the days where this system didn't exist, and trust me, sanitizing, winterizing, or filling up your RV was kind of a hassle at times. This thing is super cool. You have controls on the Nautilus system where you can change these different valves that will send the water to different areas, whether you want to fill up your tanks, whether you want to take water from the city and bypass your tank, or whether you want to winterize your trailer. It just makes the overall experience of owning a camper so much easier. This is a really, really great system that more and more the high-end campers, fifth wheels, are using, as well as the new Pause trailers. Moving from the Nautilus, we're going to go and take a look at the Truma heating system and also the water heater. These systems are designed to keep you comfortable no matter the weather outside, and they are also some of the best in the industry. So this is good to see the Truma. Did you see how it's ducted? This is the furnace. So this is different because you're not using the combi. This is a Vario heat.
That's the one that I have?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you have the on-demand.
Yeah.
So I think the pump is right here. I think that's the circulating pump. You know how it has a recirc system?
This particular thing is the gas valve.
I think.
But wait, there it is. There's some water stuff. So maybe that is right there.
I think so. I think that's what it is.
So so what you're saying is since we have this unit, that we don't have the combi.
No, because you don't need it. So
Right.
this is just an actual furnace.
It's really small. That's it. Gee, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's Truma. Think about your combi. The combi is the heater plus
Yes.
the water heater all in one, and it's not much bigger than that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's maybe 2 times the size, 2 or 3 times. So your water's now here, and this is just your furnace. So you can see how it's ducted.
So that's actually where it goes right now. It's in place. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Yeah, so it ducts out like that.
Oh yeah, it goes to the outdoor fitting. You're right.
Yeah, and then
Concentric thing.
this is gonna go up out by your kitchen, and then you're gonna run out.
We have one duct in the front, one here, and one in the back.
Yeah, I see.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so this is gonna run this backwards and give you heat into that
Yeah,
bathroom somewhere.
here it is, right here.
Yeah, right into the bathroom. But that's also nice is because look, you get all that radiant heat back here to this plumbing.
Right, that'll help keep those from freezing.
Yeah, keep that at least kind of flowing back into that direction. And then you'll also have,
I still haven't studied how that recirc line from this pump works. You know, somehow or other it's circulating the whole hot water
yeah.
line. Maybe one of these two is one of those. I don't know. I don't know
See
which.
this? How do you have it?
Well, these are the lines that go up to the head, I think, the shower
Yeah.
head, and this goes to the outdoor. This is probably, well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's it right there. See that? How it's recirculating? It's turning back. See that?
Yeah, I see.
That's
So
the end of the
So
loop.
the hot comes to here, and then it goes on and goes back. So it's hot right here at the.
Yeah, so this is
recirculated.
really where it's instant from.
Yeah,
So it's
you're
not
right.
going to be right
Yeah.
to the tap, but pretty
Right.
close.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
Especially when there's an uphill line beyond it, that'll just work its way up there.
It works great. So I use this for that recirculating one for the first time this year. It's amazing compared to the non-circulating one because you're turning it off and on. It's cold and hot.
Right.
But once
That's the thing that I was trying to figure out how to do with my bypass systems and whatnot, and finally it's just tricky to get that to work. So you can take a Navy shower and turn it off and back on again.
Yeah.
It's tricky to make that work to where it stays the same temperature.
It works really good on this. The Reboot. Last time I used it.
Yeah, because I've put that in on 2 trailers myself.
Yeah, on the Suburban, right? On the
Suburban, right.
which one else you did in the Black Series one too?
The Black Series, right.
Yeah, because they used the Fagati, or what did they use?
It had a tank style.
It had a tank style,
Yeah.
but you still put the
That's
circular.
the filter.
This is the filter.
Yeah.
Oh.
This will,
So you guys ship that loose somewhere, Daryl?
yeah, it gets stored.
Oh, that's
Out, it'll drain all the water out, and this gets stored right here.
Oh, that's really good information.
So you just have to pull that up.
So,
Look at the way that goes in there. Isn't that fabulous? So you just close it up and off it goes.
What's that yellow zip tie for?
this is to secure the gas line through there.
Look at that. Boy, that's nice.
So you can still release the pressure
Check the zip tie.
right there
Yeah.
before you drop it.
I see.
Do you see that, John? But they,
So
yeah.
it runs down to.
it drops down to the press.
Oh, yeah, right.
Splits off and runs back to the two tanks back
Oh,
here.
oh, you mean this guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, what's that doing? Heating the
That's
void
heating
between
all
the.
tanks.
Okay.
This one runs back and heats the two blind tanks.
So you got 12-volt heating pads plus that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
both
great.
both of
Yeah,
them.
that's good. And 1-inch insulation under the tanks.
Right.
Yeah, that's and a plus full of aluminum sheet. That's really
Yeah.
good. Really
So you
good.
don't have to worry about anything coming up and puncturing it.
No. No, it's really good.
Now keep in mind, this is an option. The Truma package is upgrading the stock components to make this thing more comfortable and also more capable to go into the cold weather. The Truma Vario Heat is the upgraded furnace, and this system is ducted throughout the entire trailer. So it's going to distribute the heat around the trailer much better. It's also going to go down into the water tank areas and prevent your water lines from freezing. Also, the upgraded water heater as the AquaGo, it's a really cool system. And they've designed it with a recirculating system because it is an on-demand water heater. But with the circulating system, it's much easier and comfortable to take a shower and keep that water warm the whole time. With the Aventa AC, one of the quieter ACs on the market, also very, very efficient. And of course, the Truma brand, they've been around forever and they really stand behind their products and are considered the gold standard of any components for the RV industry. Now let's dive into the electrical system. The Victron system is arguably one of the best systems available on the market. And the brain behind the system is the servo. It just makes it so your camping experience is more fun.
I don't know what this servo does yet. I don't get what that's all about.
This servo is basically your and I'm still learning a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is basically your brain for the communication for the whole thing.
Related to the Garmin, you mean, or what?
No, this is Victron. This is Victron. This
Yeah,
is
it's
the
Victron, but yeah.
All your, basically everything. This is a memory like for this Victron system. I mean, SES is able to. This thing stores any memory, and they're able to look this up and see what's going on with.
Oh,
Basically, it's the brain that makes all this stuff work together.
oh, it makes it all work together.
Yeah.
So because when you have a solar controller and a DC-DC charger working on the same battery, you got to have some interface to make that work right. So maybe I guess that's what that does. So then eventually, if something happens, somebody can look this up and see what's
so
going.
if you're at home, you can connect this into Wi-Fi. You can call this number on there. There's a phone number, and then he can actually remote into it via this right here.
They can see
You
it.
can say, hey, your settings on the inverter are improperly set up, or this isn't reading right, and he can go through the whole system and read it right.
Wow, that's really cool.
And they can reprogram it or whatever.
Yeah,
Wow.
If there's something wrong, they can program it differently or whatever.
Look at this beefy Anderson plug. You think that's adequate?
Look, it goes
Well,
on there.
that's for the batteries. That's all your
So
bat-
so that
that goes over to your battery.
goes right to your batteries.
well, it comes from the batteries to plug in over to the inverter.
No, it plugs right in here, right here.
Oh, right there,
Yeah.
right there, and then that's hardwired to here from there.
This cannot be plugged in until it gets high-potted upline.
Boy, that is really beefy.
Is this a new DC to? Does his unit have the new DC to DC charger in it or not? His is 30 or 50 amp.
This was right here, 50 amp.
That's what his unit has too.
Yes.
His unit has a 50 amp. Okay.
Because normally this would just be normally charging off your tow vehicle.
Yeah.
Might be 30. So if it's just charging off the tow vehicle, 30 is enough. Unless you upgrade this.
Yeah, this is brand new. Like Victron just released this 50.
Ah.
That's pretty new, I think, in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so look right there. You can see that. There's your SD card right there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have
yeah.
the memory.
So that stores information that they can tap into somehow and see what's going on.
Yeah, and see
figure out if
everything.
there's a defect or just out of adjustment or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know Blake. Blake has connected all of our pause units at one time or another. It seems like when he's had any questions or issues, he'll connect to our Wi-Fi at our store, and then he'll call in Victron, and he'll say, "Hey, help me figure out what's going on," and they'll walk him through and try to
Great.
figure it out.
And then these here are the breakers to shut off your solar chargers too.
Okay.
But you got to be. That's one thing that we learned. You got to be able to shut off your solar panels.
Yeah, now you're talking about the roof solar, not the remote ones. Because
Yeah.
you could just unplug the remote ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see,
For the roof,
these are for the roof ones.
Well, one of them is.
One of them is, okay.
Yeah. So these are the solar charge controllers.
Yeah.
One's for the side, one's for the roof.
Yep.
And then these here are the breakers to shut them off. But we've learned if you don't shut off your solar panels and you put it in storage, it keeps on sending just a small voltage through and it messes with electronics.
Oh.
So if you ever shut your unit completely down, shut
Like
the battery,
storing it for winter or something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But if you have
Then-
where the sun can shine on the solar panels, it'll just put a small charge through, and then
These
it
lights, even these lights.
Oh, yeah, you need lights.
and then it wants to kick on and off, and then it messes with all the
Well,
electronics.
that's the other thing about solar, that every day is a whole new event. So, it has to go through its whole cycle to decide if you're charged or whatever. And so that's a good point.
Hey, look, that's strange. He put a fan in here. Is
Oh,
that weird?
come on, that's weird. Nobody
that a
does
weird
that.
thing?
And why would they do that?
So that's where it sucks in at, and this is where it pulls out. And
Oh, yeah.
that's
So, and these little connectors are so cool too, aren't those? That's just so modern and nice. You can snap those open and close.
Yeah, and there's your Garmin's.
So is this fan controlled by dry terminals in this
That fan
control?
is controlled through this. Once it gets to
certain time.
95 degrees, that fan will kick on and it will kick off at 85 degrees.
This is noticing the temperature.
Yes. Well, this is a little Ruby temp sensor
Okay.
that's connected to this thing.
So the
through
servo is
Bluetooth.
running that. The
Yeah.
servo's running that. So and it's got a thermistor or something somewhere around here.
It's got a temp
No,
sensor in it,
I got it.
but it's connected to. It runs connected through Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But it shuts off at 85 and kicks on at 95.
Yeah, that's good.
Very cool, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice.
I mean, this is kind of like what I wish we could have put in all of our trailers from day one, right?
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
trailer we've ever worked with. That was like what was so neat is for the very first time when I met him, he was like, they were doing Renogy. I was like, why don't you do Victron? Victron's the best. And next thing you know, there's Victron in it, right?
You got to be careful what you say around here.
I know, right? And you do. Otherwise, it gets switched
Can't
out.
go wrong with the Victron.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I put in my Black Series after I burned out the other one twice. The
Yeah.
Ames.
Yeah, and Go Power's like,
Go Power's okay. I never had any
it's
trouble with it.
okay. It
But I don't know if
works.
there's any way to interface different controllers together so they can both
No,
work.
This thing does so many things.
this is-
We just installed a generator, an onboard generator, on the other side of that compartment, and the guy that installed it for us, he connected it to the servo, and so when the batteries get to a certain voltage, it automatically kicks on the generator and starts charging the batteries back to 100 and then turns off.
Wow.
So this thing just has like,
Yeah. If you talk to Brian, I mean, your options are unlimited
what you
with
can
that,
do that.
with
Yeah,
that servo.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah.
You can,
So not only for diagnostics, but for control and all kinds of stuff.
what we're doing basically is very basic.
Yeah,
The way he explains it, it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and I've never heard of those before. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Well, so this is originally the idea is they designed this for yachts, right? So if you're out in the middle of the ocean and you're having
Oh.
an issue, you can connect into Victron's
Right.
Wow.
HQ so they can
Like
get,
through Starlink or
yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. You would connect in and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Oh, that's like.
But I was at the talk to the Victron rep, and he says this system is the best system he's ever seen in an RV. Like the setup, the way they're doing it.
Wow.
And he was like, and ultimately the biggest thing with Victron, they say, there might be a lot of cool things out on the market, but if you need something that just works
Right.
and always works,
Right.
that's what Victron is all about. It's just making sure it works. They're originally from the marine industry. I don't know if you know.
No, I didn't know
They
that.
originally do yachts and boats. So it's like when you're on the ocean, you don't want something
Yeah.
falling on you, right?
That's right. That's pretty important when you're on the ocean.
Yeah. Go Power, it's originally, I think, RV from it. They're Canadian now, I think.
I don't know.
Or they were a Canadian company.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
Well, everything on this is so nice, and all this aluminum work too. It's just, this
Isn't that cool?
and the guys didn't have to do that, but it's such a nice way to do it.
You want to make something good.
Yeah, you want to make something good.
instead of little 2x2s.
Yeah, exactly. Staple together.
2x1 staple. I know. Today, we've covered some of the main key components of the Pause Reboots. The insulated tanks, the way everything is run and set up, the easy to use Nautilus water system, the high-performance Truma heating and water heater, and of course, the cutting-edge Victron electrical systems. These details make the Pause Reboot one of the most capable and also most comfortable trailers made in America. But we're just getting started. In the next episode, we'll take a deeper dive into how the frame, floor, walls, and roof all come together to form the backbone of this incredible trailer. Plus, we'll check out the MoRide suspension that gives the Pause Reboot its industry-leading off-road capabilities with its highest amount of travel and ability to level easily when you get to camp. Stay tuned for next time on Behind the Build. Thanks for joining us today. Click the link in the description for the free brochure on each of the Pause Reboot trailers, and stay tuned for more episodes as we continue to take you behind the build of the all-new Reboots.